Hey guys, and welcome to today's video, which is going to be a little bit of a journey one with regards to the mares. So you probably I haven't really talked about them for quite a while because this summer has been a roller coaster of trying to get them in full. Like, I can't even explain, but I'm going to explain actually. So I'll start with Welbeck. So basically we have two broodmares, Welbeck and Fiona. Welbeck is the mother of Zeffie here, and also the mother of Wiggy. Fiona is the mother of Cal and Dali. So that's how that all works. So I'll start with Welbeck. So Welbeck had a foal, obviously, but I was still in France. So we missed her first cycle. Then Zeffie was in the hospital he got a little infection. So he was in the hospital, so we tried to inseminate her on that cycle, but she didn't ovulate and stuff. I think she was just a bit stressed about being in the hospital and stuff. So that didn't work. So then I inseminated her. She unfortunately didn't go in full that time. And then we said we'd try it once more. It was getting a little bit late for us. And I know a lot of sport horse people don't mind having foals in, like foaling in July or putting the mare in full in August, but I leave for Australia in August, so we can't really go that late. So they said we'd give her one more shot because we felt like she'd only really had one good chance. So we wanted to give her at least two, and she went in full. Oh, well done, Welbeck. Look how muddy you are. Well done. Zeffie, you're gonna have a little sibling next year, hopefully. Well done, Welbeck. Welbeck's like, all day's work, lads. I love having babies. Good girl. So she's in full to a stallion called Bamako de Muse. So he is I think a very, very nice stallion. He's actually the sire of the horse that won the Hickstead Derby this year. He was only an 8-year-old, the horse that won. He's produced a lot of top 160 show jumpers. One of my favorites is called Don Juan, and it's ridden by an American rider, and it's just so nice. So if it's half of that horse, I'll be very, very happy. So yeah, I think he'll suit Welbeck. He still is blood, but not super blood, because she has a lot of blood, so we don't tend to go with something too hot. But he's a really nice canter, a really nice front end technique, and they're all things that I'm trying to improve in Welbeck. So yeah, hopefully we get a nice little jumper next year. So yeah, she's due I think the 25th of June, so that will be very good. And yeah, not so much to talk about with her. Fiona is the one that this is a roller coaster ride, okay? Welbeck is always easy to go in full. Fiona is not. So very happy she's in full, very excited for the full next year. So now we'll go to Fiona. Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing, Fiona? So Fiona, I'm gonna settle in now because it's gonna be a story and a half. So last year Fiona was due to full, but she had a premature full. She basically had like a very late term abortion, and it was a very bad foaling. The full was coming completely the wrong way, like in every way, and we had to like knock her out and get the foal out. It was not great, but got the foal out, and obviously the foal was dead, but Fiona was okay, and that was absolutely the main thing. That's all we wanted. So that was at the very start of last year. We gave her a couple of months off, and then at the very end of the season I scanned her. I said, sure, look, maybe we'll try her once to go in full. When I scanned her, her uterus was full of urine. It was not good. So basically, she's always done a little bit of urine pooling, which is where the urine kind of sits in the vagina, which is not in the uterus. So you have like uterus, cervix, vagina, and then the outside world. So it was just sitting, not in the uterus, but she always had a little bit. And you could see like when she would run, sometimes she would dribble urine a little bit. Like she just always did it. So, but obviously when she had that tough foaling, there was a bit of damage to her cervix, and it wasn't tightening closed, and then it was letting urine flow back into her uterus. So not good. I treated her, flushed her out, everything. We did actually try and inseminate her. She didn't go in full. but it was more important to try and get her clean. So when she went out for the winter last year, her uterus was good. Like she wasn't full of urine, basically. So obviously I wasn't here for the whole start of this summer, so I sent her to UCD, the veterinary hospital, to get a full just workup done. I just wanted them to look at her cervix. There's also surgery that you can do to improve the urine pooling, where they extend her urethra. So I basically just sent her there to get their expert opinion. There's like a board certified theriogenealogist, like a reproduction specialist there. So she had a good look at Fiona. So basically they took a swab of her uterus to see what bacteria was growing. They took a biopsy of her uterus to grade it and see how likely she is to carry a full-term pregnancy. They looked at her cervix. They said there was actually no damage to her cervix. What was happening was probably it was just inflamed and angry, and then because of that it wasn't working as it should. And yeah, I think that was everything. So they said that she wasn't really urine pooling when they looked at her, so they said not to do the urethral extension. But they cultured some bacteria from her uterus. They did a sensitivity on the bacteria to see what antibiotic we should use, and I got a whole plan of what to do. So basically I had to treat her uterus with gentamicin. I had to treat her systemically, so like injection with TMS, which is another antibiotic. I had to flush her uterus lots. I'll show you some pictures because it was urine coming out of her uterus. Like the bags go in clear and then they come back out, should be clear, but they were coming back out completely yellow because there was urine in her uterus. So yeah, so I did that. I treated her, did the flushing and stuff. Did that for a whole cycle. The vet said that if by the end of the treatment she still hasn't ovulated, you can inseminate her and just see. So I did, but she didn't go in full. I will also say, at the same time, she was started on the gain stud cubes, because a lot of people in my last video actually said, when I talked about Fiona very briefly in a video about her urine pooling, and a lot of people messaged me saying, oh, you should try like supplementing with vitamin E and stuff. And actually around that time I switched to the gain stud cubes. I was looking at the difference in ingredients and the amount of the ingredients in the gain stud cubes compared to the ones that she was on, and there actually was significantly more vitamin E in the gain ones. So I said, we'll just switch her and see if that helps. And the second cycle, she was significantly better with regards to the urine in her uterus, like a lot better. When I would flush her the first time, there was like a tinge of yellow, and then after that there was nothing. So I think it was a combination of getting the infection under control. There's less inflammation in her uterus and in her cervix, and I definitely have to say I think that vitamin E increase helped, because I treated her with antibiotics last year and it didn't really work. So we tried her again, inseminated her. Hey guys, so I'm just on my way to drive to Northern Ireland to pick up some semen, because Eustonov is now standing in England, and unfortunately with Brexit they can ship semen to Ireland, but it'll be held in customs for like 48 hours, and all the semen will be dead by the time it gets to me, which is very unfortunate. So they can deliver to Northern Ireland because that is part of the UK. So then I just have to drive to Northern Ireland, which is 2 hours away. So it's a 4-hour round trip, so that we can inseminate this lady with Eustonov, huh? And hopefully make another cow. So we've got the goods. Stallion AI, I actually did a placement with them years ago. And look, they're so funny. They have all like semen confetti in the box. Oh, they're very funny. As I said, I was a lot more hopeful because it looked a lot better. Like she wasn't didn't have as much urine in her uterus. Everything wasn't as inflamed. So yeah, then waited the 14 days and she was in full. And I was literally so happy. So happy. So she did have 2 ovulations, so she was at risk of twins. So I scanned her at, I think it was 13 days. So it's the first time I scanned her because I couldn't wait till 14. And then I scanned her again at 16 days. There was still only 1 pregnancy. It was growing. It looked all good. So I was very, very happy with that. So I didn't say anything because obviously I was really shocked. I was shocked she was in full, to be honest. Like, obviously I was hopeful, but I was so surprised. I honestly couldn't believe it. I was so happy. And I didn't want to say anything until we had a heartbeat and it was all very settled. So I waited like a week, like 10 days, and scanned Fiona again to make sure that everything was growing, everything was good, and there was no pregnancy. So poor Fifi, she did go in full and then she lost her pregnancy before the heartbeat scan, which is very, I wouldn't say common, but it's the most common time you will lose a pregnancy. Like anywhere between 10 to 20% of pregnancies are lost before 20 days in horses. So unfortunately, Fiona was part of that statistic. And it's gone too late now. So because I was in France and then she got all that diagnostic workup, we didn't get to put her in full until quite late in the season. And then because she was in full, you know, we waited all that time, and she's unfortunately not in full now, and we're just gonna leave her off until next year. Such a shame, such a roller coaster. I really was so excited. And the stallion that we had chosen for Fiona was Ustinov, which is the sire of Cal, because Cal has turned out to be an absolute superstar. And we said we want another one of Cal. So we decided to go with Ustinov again. People have been asking me to do that for years. And finally, my dad really wanted me to, and I was like, okay, we'll go back to Ustinov. And yeah, so unfortunate that although she went in full, she lost it. So no full for Fiona next year, which is such a shame, but I think it's okay. What we might even do next year is maybe flush an embryo from her, because we know she can go in full. With her biopsy results, they weren't the best, but they weren't the worst. But maybe with that, we're just thinking that maybe she's just not able to carry the full herself. So what we might do next year is start really nice and early, put her in full, hopefully flush an embryo, put that in a recipient mare. If that sticks, then maybe try her in full, and if she holds the full, great. If she doesn't, that's fine. It's just such a pity because she really loves the fulls. Like even Welbeck's full Zephy this year, she's like literally looking after it like it's her own full. Like she just loved, like yeah, she's just, I feel like she would love her own full. So basically we are going to be having 1 full next year, hopefully all goes well. And then, as I said before, they're going to be fed the gain stud cubes. That's what we feed all our brood mares. I think it's important to be feeding them those kind of feeds when you want to put them in full, as well as when they're growing the full, because nutrition and fertility are like very, very linked. And even I think that was a good example of, you know, switching to a feed that has, you know, higher, you know, better quality ingredients and also higher concentrations of those ingredients, and then seeing a better result fertility wise. Unfortunately, our luck did not hold, but it does give me a lot of hope that she actually went in full. There was a while there I just thought she might never go in full again, and that was it. But now we know she can. What are you doing? That was weird. But now we know she can, so that is good. And she's all like, you know, she's no urine in there. It all looks, you know, all that infection's cleared up. So at least she's ending the season a lot better than she ended last season, uterus reproductive wise. So yeah, now they're going to go out into a field full of grass. So they're not going to be on feed now. They're just on the gain stud cubes when we're putting them in full. And especially when they have a foal at foot. So with Welbeck, you know, she was producing milk and then also needed to have all her nutrition for fertility. So it was very important that she had adequate feed. And then she's going to go out to some grass now, because Zeffie's starting to eat grass, eat feed, you know, like the amount of work she needs to put into producing milk is lowering now. You know, he's not drinking as much, and she's going to go out to some very fresh grass. But then he'll get weaned, and then over the winter Fiona will get stud cubes too, because we can't feed Welbeck and not Fiona. But most importantly, Welbeck will get fed the gain stud cubes all through the winter, because she is growing a foal, and it's that last trimester of pregnancy that you see the most growth of the foal. And especially things like, you know, she's literally making bones, you know. She needs such a huge level of calcium. All those vitamins and minerals are so important that we get the healthiest foal we can, and that she is then, you know, in really good body condition but not too fat, so that she has her foal and she's ready to produce milk and she's really like thriving. That's what we want. We want, you know, her to produce a healthy foal and then to have very high quality colostrum and milk for that foal. So that is the plan for the girls. I'm going to put them out into their field tomorrow, and I'll get a little video of them running around the field. And yes, so they'll be out there for a while, and then Zeffie will get weaned, and then the girls will go on their gain stud cubes for the rest of the winter until it's ready for Welbeck to foal. How exciting. So that is the story with the girls. So hopefully one foal next year. And hopefully this lady, we do get her in full again. If we don't, she has a home with us forever and ever and ever. So does Welbeck. So it's like, nah, if she goes in full, great. And if she doesn't, I'm not going to cry about it. I was going to be disappointed, because who wouldn't want another cow? But that is life, and that is breeding horses. That is the ups and downs of it. But very, very happy to at least have this lady in full. And hopefully get another little Zeffie. So that is it for this video. I'm happy I was finally able to share the whole journey with you guys. I've been like holding all this information in my little soul, wanting to share it, but then, you know, I didn't want to like hype everyone up. Oh, Fiona's in full, and then that's what happened. She lost it. But anyway, this is it now. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think of the stallion choices, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.